Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Monday, November 4th, 0 dark 30. The election is coming, folks. It is an existential election. Normally you call things an existential crisis. It is about our existence. Our very existence is being threatened as Americans, as free people. That is the crisis. That is the election. That's what this is all about at this moment in time. The consequences we're going to suffer are a direct result of the decisions that have been made and are being planned for us. Are you prepared? Last night, 0 dark 30 was good. We had a good time. We talked about everything we could think of, had a few drinks, had a few laughs, but I know we're all very deeply troubled and worried. Right? Yes, Trump is leading in the polls. Yes, everything looks great. Yes, we know the Democrats are cheating. Yes, they're getting caught. And yes, they're being stopped as much as possible. One of the big questions, though, is how far will they go? They being the bad guys. Something that we didn't discuss last night was the bad guys, the World Economic Forum, the Democrat Party, the Illuminati, if you will, the deep state, if you wish. We've caught them. There is a global awakening, a global conscious realization that there are powers and principalities at work, very powerful. And they've been caught. This isn't the 1600s where they can go hide in their castles and we can't get to them. It's not that kind of a world anymore. They've been caught. We know we're waking up. People are aware. They can only cheat so much. They can only do so much. You see, the politicians, boy, are they for sale, huh? They are for sale. And as a consequence of their greed and ignorance, they're willing to do anything right out in public, including lying directly and taking very, very, very dangerous actions, like telling the military they may have to use deadly violence against us. That's quite an indictment. Quite an indictment. But the global elites, the super powerful, the wealthy, they don't want to make that claim. They don't want to step out from behind the shadows, but we know who they are now. Now, interestingly, I had this discussion after the show. I was very tired and well, I went and had a big dinner, kind of settle down the mind and the nerves. But while the politicians may be willing to burn the nation and the world coast to coast, do the rich want that? And there's a lot of them, folks. Just regular, I'm going to say this, regular billionaires. Regular billionaires. Are they willing, right, to risk everything and destroy this country? No, they've got a great deal of wealth. They've got their companies, a lot of them. They've got their fortunes and the foundations of a dynasty for themselves to worry about. And they don't want it tossed into the air and destroyed because of the political machinations of the stupidly greedy. And so they've said if Kamala wins, they'll pull their money out of the market. And I believe them far more than I believe these idiot celebrities who say, I'll leave the country if I don't get my way. Nobody cares about them. They don't matter. You lose an actor, right? Everyone doesn't suffer. You lose these millionaires, billionaires. If you lose these giant amounts of wealth, people suffer because we're all tied to that. We're all tied to it. So we are at this place. How far are they going to push this? Or will they allow the people, us, to continue to be free enough to have our own elections and govern ourselves as we see fit? Not as they see fit, as we see fit. I think there is a time frame. I think they overplayed their hand quite a bit. They exposed themselves. Their timelines, their understanding, I don't understand what they were thinking. But they made grievous errors and grievous violations against, well, themselves, us, the people, and against the Almighty in their efforts to take control, take dominion. And it created this existential crisis. They did it. They created this. You and I were busy working, living, enjoying life, doing what we're supposed to do, including paying taxes. Now that's all up for grabs, folks. It is one hell of a scary world that we are now entering. Today's Monday. Tomorrow is the 5th, Tuesday, November 2024. And that's going to be the day that tells us how far they're willing to push this. And if they lose, are they going to punish us? They being the political class who control the military. Are they willing to go nuclear? Are they willing? Are they? They willing to destroy it all? Scorched earth. Will they turn loose what they've dubbed, what they've named, a mass casualty event in order to say, hey, you've got a problem here? Will they do that? Or was that a threat put out there to scare us who are paying attention? Would you rather live in the peace and comfort of your slavery, or are you willing to risk in order to be free? The devilish machinations of an evil system hell-bent on destroying us all. That's the question we have to ask ourselves, and that's the threat that they've given us. And a lot of people have said, right, you can have my gun when you pry it from my cold, dead fingers. People have said, I will fight to the last breath against this evil. Where do you stand? And in order to fight, make that fight. Are you willing to pledge your lives, your families, your fortunes? Because that's what it takes. That's part of the recipe of liberty and freedom. And those in power know it. As Trump said, they're willing to fight this war, the super powerful, because they're not going to be the ones on the battlefield. They're not the ones who have to suffer the pain. They get to sit in their ivory towers and make decisions and watch other people play it out. It is for that reason that I say, everybody who wants that, remember their names and know their locations so they can be held to account. Because they don't seem to understand or care about how this affects everyone else. Because to them, it is all about just them and their desire and their power and their evil. We are facing, folks, an existential crisis in this election. I hope and pray you are prepared and you've made your decisions and you've made some peace with what is about to happen. We pray for the best as we prepare for the worst. Chance favors the prepared mind. God bless.